Q4 is by far the best time of the year for Amazon sellers. It's coming fast and I want you to be fully prepared. This is your complete guide. A few years ago in my first Q4, I made over $50,000 profit in December alone and it completely changed my life. I'm gonna show you all the dates you need to know, the best products to sell, what to get ungated in, a bunch of merchant fulfilled tips and tricks, Q4 mistakes to avoid, and everything in between. Let's get right into it. So that first Q4 when I made over 50K profit in a single month, which was over 30K in revenue in December of 2021 alone, I knew absolutely nothing. This video is perfectly designed for those of you guys looking to get your first $10,000, first $20,000 profit month. It's gonna give you the complete guide. So to get started, guys, important dates for Q4. Q4 is between October 1st and the end of December. It's the best time of the year for consumer spending, which means it's the best time of the year for us as Amazon sellers to move a ton of profitable products on the platform. The best time is definitely going to be within December, specifically around Christmas and leading up to Christmas when consumers are buying products like crazy and demand is through the roof, competition's really low, and prices are absolutely through the roof, so you need to be ready for that. The best part of Q4 is all the different holidays. The first one really being in early October with October Prime Day. Now, last year, I believe was the first year Amazon had an October Prime Day, but the cool thing about Prime Day is obviously it's a great time to sell products on Amazon, but more importantly, basically every retailer runs a sale to compete with Amazon Prime Day, which means tons of profitable products for you and I. Last year, I believe it was like October 11th and 12th, so hopefully it's 2 days once again. I'll have a bunch of good live sourcing content for you guys when that time comes, if they do have another October Prime Day, which hopefully they do. Right after October Prime Day, like 2 weeks later at the end of October, is gonna be Halloween. Halloween, in my opinion, is a little bit of an overrated holiday. There's not a ton of good sales typically. However, that could change this year. A lot of like Halloween costumes and Halloween products are really gonna pop off during this time, but primarily October is still gonna be a time of doing a lot of FBA shipments and it's not really full on the best part of Q4. It's important to note that I don't recommend speculating on inventory and hoping it goes up in price. I primarily recommend buying quick flips and selling them as quick as possible, whether it's merchant fulfilled or pumping in FBA shipments using 2D barcodes on Boxem, our brand new Amazon FBA shipment software. Now, here's where it starts to get fancy. We get into November, guys, and this is an incredibly underrated, probably the most underrated time of the entire year, is early November, when there's a bunch of early Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, which specifically tend to be in the range of like November 3rd, November 5th to like November 15th range. And it's the kind of time when basically no one thinks it'd be an incredibly good sourcing time for quick flips. A lot of people want to speculate and hope stuff goes up in price. Personally, I think that's a waste of time because you could just buy those products cheaper during Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. It is important to note though, that based off what we saw last year, which was actually way better than early Black Friday sales in 2022. Early Black Friday sales are going to be absolutely phenomenal. Be on the lookout for them at basically every retailer under the sun. Thank God the American consumer loves spending money so much. That's going to be a great time of year to get in last minute Amazon FBA shipments, as well as start to accumulate good inventory to merchant fulfill. So rather than send it off in bulk to the Amazon FBA warehouse, merchant fulfilling products are when you fulfill individual orders directly to the customer, which make a ton of sense to do during really good seasonal opportunities because you don't have to wait that 1 to 2 weeks for the inventory to check into Amazon FBA. Right around November 15th to the 20th is when you want to stop sending in Amazon FBA shipments and you want to start doing pretty much primarily merchant fulfilled, just because you don't want to rely on check-in times to the FBA warehouse because they can get really backed up. One thing to note though, guys, do not worry about Amazon's like recommended dates for Q4. They tend to just be covering their butts on that. Don't worry about them. They tend to be largely inaccurate. However, by November 15th to 20th, you do want to be sending in your last FBA shipments for the year. For the most part, at least for inventory you want to sell quick and transitioning over to merchant fulfilled. Getting into the really fun part of the year, the Sunday before Thanksgiving is when Black Friday sales start to kick off. It's kind of like a second early Black Friday, essentially. So the cool thing is you got to be ready to source heavy once that Sunday before Thanksgiving actually hits, because then you can order inventory quick and have a lot of it for sale merchant fulfilled during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, when the absolute bonanza of Q4 really begins and competition starts to plummet. Prices start to shoot up. Because the cool thing is, a lot of mature sellers or just sellers who have been around for a while don't really think merchant fulfilled is that scalable, but not you and I. You got to promise me. You got to be ready to hit those merchant fulfilled orders hard because you can make a ton of good progress quick. Literally back in 2021, my previous largest month was like 105K in revenue, which was I think in September of 2021 or August. And then I did 220 in November and 30K profit hitting merchant fulfilled hard. And then in December, the best time of the year, right after 300K revenue and 50K profit. Once December hits, we're pretty much all merch fulfilled. The best time of the year, like if you want to take off from your 9 to 5 to be able to merch fulfill heavy somewhere in there, is going to be between December 5th and December 20th. That's going to be the peak of the entire year when you're going to be doing everything you can to just stay in stock on your best merch fulfilled orders. It's really important to note during this time frame, retail arbitrage and buy online, pick up in-store orders are going to be huge just to get products to market quicker. And it's also important, this is when you're going to be raising prices. You really only want to be raising prices once something's already selling well. And I always get the question when you go really, really deep on products, and that's really only once they're selling really well as well. So the only time you buy 50 of something is what makes the most sense to me is when 26 sold yesterday. The only time to buy 100 is when 60 sold yesterday. And I've sold literally 400 of the same ASIN in the same day before. It's insane the scale you can achieve with merch fulfilled fast during this time of year. Want to interrupt the video real quick, guys, and let you know if you're really looking to maximize this Q4, I have something for you. Now's the perfect time to join my intensive mentorship program. If you're looking to work directly with me, you'll get my personal phone number, 3 group coaching calls a week. You're also going to get a one-on-one live sourcing call with myself and access to just tons of other cool Amazon sellers to build with that are crushing the game. I'm also going to give you guys all my favorite coupons, tips, tricks, and strategies. And if you're overall just looking to get around other Amazon sellers that are really doing this, you want to work directly with me, consider checking out the link in the description for my coaching program. We have a couple weeks till Q4 gets started, and now's the perfect time to go ahead and do that if you're ever going to do that. So go ahead and take a look at the coaching program link in the description. Let's keep going with the Q4 guide. Getting into late December, early January is gift card season when a lot of customers are still buying stuff with Amazon gift cards they received for Christmas. That's also the time when volume starts to slow down a little bit and you start to transition over to FBA. However, every item is different and do not take your foot off the gas. If something's selling well, who cares if Q4 is over? Just keep pumping it. Listings don't just go from like not good to good in one day. It typically weans off a little bit right there. And one last note in terms of important dates, a lot of Black Friday sales and just sales in general will actually keep going through December. So don't worry about sourcing new products during December being hard. That's actually gonna be the least of your worries. If I have anything to say about it, you're gonna be struggling to keep orders in stock because you have so much good profitable products selling quick, merch fulfilled. Okay guys, what sells best during Q4? A lot of people think, okay, I'm gonna sell a ton of toys during Q4. I'm gonna sell a bunch of winter clothing during Q4. The cool thing is, I actually recommend doing none of that. Stick with what you're currently doing because going from level 5 to level 6, sourcing one specific brand or one specific retailer gets you way more output than going 0 to 1 selling in the toy category. Pretty much everything you already sell, you'll be buying for cheaper, it'll be selling quicker, and it'll be selling for more. And that's why I don't recommend like switching categories or speculating on inventory going up in price. Instead, just buy stuff super cheap during Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales, merch fulfilled as quick as possible, and then do your best to replenish those SKUs the best you can. So I actually wouldn't recommend sourcing for Q4 or anything like that. Just focus on whatever you can find profitably, fairly similar to back to school or any other seasonal opportunity. Whatever you can consistently find profitable, that's the best stuff to sell. Another frequently asked question for Q4, what to get ungated in? While I do love the idea of having the toy category unlocked, maybe some of the big toy brands, personally, I don't really recommend ungating anything unless you've already found it profitable. However, if I were gonna recommend anything for Q4, it would be all the big shoes and clothing brands and the toy category to get ready to rock and roll. All right, guys, this is some of the most important stuff in the entire video. These are merchant fulfilled tips and tricks. I really need to make sure you ask any questions in the comments you have on this stuff and take notes on this and actually implement it. So how do you tell if something is merchant fulfilled friendly? AKA, not every product will you be able to get the buy box on merchant fulfilled. The cool thing is, they tend to make it very obvious. The data buy box statistics on Keepa is really helpful. You can take a look at like the FBA column and see what percentage of sellers are FBM versus FBA on a listing. There's a bunch of merch fulfilled sellers on a listing. They're not dumb. They're doing it because they're making money on it. So make sure if you want to know how FBM friendly a listing is, you take a look at the data buy box statistics feature. Also for FBM shipping templates, I recommend doing free and economy orders at $0. So you charge free shipping. The cool thing is when you do FBM, you don't pay FBA fees, but you do pay individual shipping. And when you do FBA, you don't pay individual shipping, but you do pay those FBA fees, which are both based on size and weight, which are pretty much the same thing. So free shipping for standard and economy orders, and then something like $30 or $40 per order for next day, 2-day, and expedited. And it's a good idea around like December 15th to start to increase those as well. I've seen people get like $80 expedited shipping orders, which is absolutely bonkers. And if you buy the shipping quick on those items, you might be able to pay like $15 for it just buying shipping through Amazon. Amazon. You always want to buy shipping through Amazon for the most part. It's pretty much always going to be the cheapest. Buy whatever shipping service is cheapest. If Amazon seems really expensive, buy on Pirate Ship. I've seen people get like those crazy expedited shipping orders and get a ton of extra profit when a customer pays $33 for expedited shipping for one order and Amazon only charges you $12 because you're shipping stuff out fast. You just got an extra $21 profit on that sale. Another really underrated benefit of merch fulfilled is multiple unit orders. So if a customer orders multiple, you actually tend to save money when you do that shipping, because shipping 2 items in the same box is way cheaper than shipping two items separately, which is a cool part of merch fulfilled. And with merch fulfilled, you get to list items on multiple listings at the same time if that actually exists. So I always recommend searching your listings on Amazon and seeing if there's multiple listings for the same item, so you can list on both at the same time potentially. You just have to make sure they're actually the same item. In terms of FBM shipping supplies, don't overthink this, guys. You can get free shipping labels for the boxes from UPS actually. So just look up like free UPS shipping supplies. Those are nice and easy. 9x12, 12x15, and 19x24 poly mailers from Amazon for most items. And then boxes you can get from Walmart or Uline in bulk. They have a ton of different options in terms of what items you're specifically selling. Don't worry about the stuff, guys. Buying and selling profitable products and sourcing inventory is going to be your main priority. Supplies are nice and easy. I also want to stress the importance, guys, of really digging deep during Q4 and just maxing out this time. It's completely normal to do 25 to 50% of your overall volume for the entire year during December. And a lot of you guys haven't even been selling a year, so it's really important to step up to the plate heavy and really be ready to go hard with retail arbitrage, with merchant fulfilled, with online arbitrage orders, potentially listing stock before it arrives if you really trust the retailer, and networking with other Amazon sellers and finding friends in the space, maybe even the comments of this video, to build with. And then also, it's important to note, guys, there's lots of common Q4 mistakes I want you guys to avoid, which is definitely gonna be buying and speculating. If you buy and hope stuff goes up in price, someone's just gonna pay cheaper than you during Black Friday, and they're gonna have a way better cash flow cycle and a lower cost basis. Another one is definitely just not going hard enough. I know I've definitely made that mistake in the past. And then definitely as well, buying too many of unproven products. The only time to go deep is when something's already sold well. Another big mistake a lot of sellers make is pivoting to only the toy category instead of doubling down on what's already working well for them. As well as not raising prices. When something's selling really well, consider raising your price a little bit and seeing if you can get some extra output for that same amount of work you put into sourcing that item. So that's the full Q4, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. I love helping you guys grow your businesses. If you want to work directly with me, my coaching program application link is down below in the description as well. Subscribe for more, and I'll leave my free course link up here if you want to check that out. See you guys in the next one.